now to our COVID-19 coverage. Republican lawmakers in Colorado are furious at Governor Jared Polis over the executive order he issued yesterday.
The order allows him to allocate $1.6 billion in federal money for the pandemic response without input and approval from the full legislature. News Channel 13's Scott Harrison joins us now live in Colorado Springs with more on the governor's critics, his response to them, and what happens next. Scott.
Well, Heather and Bart, this executive order, of course, comes just a week before the legislature goes back into session to try and slash $3.3 billion from the budget. And Republican lawmakers say that it is hard to effectively balance the state's budget when Governor Polis takes some of their control away from them. What has state Republican leaders and even some voters upset is that Governor Jared Polis recently was quoted as saying that it's the legislature's job to allocate the $1.6 billion in federal money for COVID-19 recovery. So why did he switch gears, issue an executive order, and allocate the money himself, with the state facing a major budget deficit? That's what Monument State Senator Paul Lundeen wants to know.
The people's voice is being lost. The separation of powers is how we preserve the authority of the people over government. And when the legislature's not in session and the governor's acting as if he controls the legislative process, the voice of the people doesn't get heard.
And Senator Lundeen says just as important as how the governor took the authority to allocate the funding is how he decided who gets what.
The way this is allocating out, it's just general. It's a scattershot approach, whereas there were discussions going on that would have made it more precise and been more beneficial in the way the money's spent.
Polis made the decision as part of an agreement with the Speaker of the House and the state Senate President, both Democrats. State Senator Lundeen says that when the legislature returns to session next week, he'll keep trying to get the governor to change his mind by mounting pressure from two sources: from lawmakers who were not involved in the governor's agreement with legislative leadership, and from voters who also are dissatisfied with the governor's decision. And Lundeen isn't alone in his criticism of the governor. Three leading Senate Republicans, including Bob Gardner of Colorado Springs, accused Polis of abusing power. Even Republican Congressman Scott Tipton weighed in, asking for more oversight by the Treasury Department and how the money was allocated, including a whopping $85 million for the state to watch how the funds are spent. And the governor's office responded to all of this in a statement earlier this evening, saying that Polis was only acting quickly to get this money to areas of need as quickly as possible. And the statement also scolded Tipton for, quote, playing politics. Now, we're also hearing that many Democrats actually agree with the Republicans in this matter, but are towing the political line for now. We are live in Colorado Springs. Scott Harrison, KRDO, News Channel 13.